A very good morning to all of NDTV's viewers, and I really look forward to hosting so many of you who are going to be arriving today at the NDTV World Summit. Just a quick look at final preparations that are taking place here at the gorgeous multi-purpose hall in the Bharat Mandapam. By far Asia's most amazing convention venue, where the NDTV World Summit is kicking off in just a couple of hours from now. The guests have already started arriving in the vicinity. That's the buzz that's already taking place. Like you just saw in that footage just before this, incredible lineup of speakers. I cannot remember for the life of me a single conclave or event where two serving national leaders are going to be on stage at the same event, and that too on the same day. We're going to see Prime Minister Modi, we're going to see the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, Harini Amarasuriya, who arrived yesterday on stage, right here on this stage a little later today. But the NDTV World Summit is so much more than just this stage. This is an incredible property where the summit is taking place. Apart from the speakers themselves, the experience of being here, for those lucky enough to actually get to the NDTV World Summit this time, it's going to be an experience they're never going to forget. Because apart from the ideas, apart from the incredible talks, apart from the incredible interactions they're going to have, the team here at NDTV has put together, in my view, one of the finest experiences that people are going to have. So, whether it is the discussions, whether it is the networking, whether it is the incredible chance to see Rishi Sunak, Prime Minister Modi, Harini Amarasuriya, leaders of business, celebrities, change makers, leverage holders across the world, the NDTV World Summit, I think in many ways is going to be a new paradigm. So all of the people here you see around me are those working very hard to give final touches and final polish NDTV style to the World Summit as it kicks off in a very short while from now. We're all set, we're all locked and loaded now to welcome our guests, our delegates, our listeners, our audiences, and also a reminder to everyone that if you're not able to be here at the NDTV World Summit, the entire proceedings is going to be live across NDTV's platforms, and we look forward to bringing it to you firsthand as well.
Tell us, how is the NDTV World Summit different from other global forums we've seen? What kind of conversations are being curated here that go beyond sound bites?
I don't want to reveal too much because we definitely have a few, surprises up our sleeve in terms of format, in terms of mixing things up, really taking the tried and tested stage audience format and doing some interesting new things with it. This is very much in keeping with NDTV's paradigm of pushing the boundaries of how the traditional things are done. Now remember, a conclave of this kind, the NDTV World Summit, is very important because people want to be able to listen to the speakers, and that is going to remain completely unchanged. What's going to be added to this incredible experience is the level of interactivity, the opportunities to actually get up close with many of these guests, be with them, talk to them, in some cases possibly even one-on-one. There is an incredible curation of lunches and dinners that takes place over the next couple of days, where a select few will be able to get even more up close with some of our special guests here at the NDTV World Summit. So this is a summit, this is an event where things are way beyond just the traditional way of doing stage versus audience events. Like I said, a lot of work has gone into it. The incredible team at NDTV, whose hospitality people are going to be experiencing in just a couple of hours from now, have worked day and night to take a lot of risks in terms of mixing things up, tinkering with format, trying to delight our audiences in terms of taking things forward into a realm where they haven't, experienced things. We did quite a bit of research, and we find that many of the things that you're going to see over the next couple of days haven't been tried, not just here in India, but anywhere in the world. So this is going to be a benchmark in terms of events and, thought conclaves anywhere in the world, not just here in India. We're all set. This is just final polish that's being applied to the incredible NDTV World Summit. Can't wait to get going.
We can't wait either, Shiv. But, in a time when many argue the media ecosystem is so fragmented, does this kind of long-form, idea-driven dialogue represent a return to substance over spectacle?
I think that's a great question. We live in a world where there has never been a greater amount of competition for our attention, whether it is the media, whether it is social media, whether it is YouTube, any platform you think of. The amazing thing is, NDTV actually not only dominates all of those platforms, and we've seen that through ratings and numbers and data and things like that. But the reason why viewers keep coming back to NDTV, and the reason why the NDTV World Summit promises to be such an incredible conclave, remember it's our second year now of this particular conclave, is that long form, deep, enriching conversations, a big stage where discussions and ideas can be exchanged, where people have the luxury to sit back and really let these conversations wash over them as NDTV curates the surround sound around it, is very, very valuable, because we live in a world where distractions are aplenty. It's very difficult to fix your attention on one thing, and that's the reason why NDTV's uber experienced team, not just in terms of news, but in terms of hospitality, in terms of events, has put heart and soul into choosing speakers, choosing conversations, choosing topics, choosing the manner in which, like I said, and I don't want to reveal too much once again, the format in which these conversations are going to happen, to take a tried and tested formats and turn them on their heads, make them even more deep, make them even more long form, make them even more enriching. Because in our view here on NDTV, and I know I speak for everyone in our group, it is not just about listening, but it is about taking it away with you. It's about remembering, for that experience to stay with you no matter where you go, and to always remember the NDTV World Summit. That's a personal guarantee we take very, very seriously here, and we're looking forward to delivering on it.
Indeed. Shiv, also, is this summit about showcasing India's model of leadership, democratic, plural, but yet assertive, as an alternative to Western paradigms?
Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who's going to be the showstopper today on day one of the NDTV World Summit, his speeches are always looked forward to everywhere in India and everywhere in the world. But the reason why this particular time is particularly so important is because India is not just any other country in the world. The world is literally looking to India for ideas, for inspiration, for solutions to conflict, things like that. And therefore, India isn't just a member of the international order. It's a rising nation, one of the fastest growing economies. You just had the IMF say, my bad, when it was talking about Indian reforms. You've had Google's largest non-US investment happen here in India. So for those who've sort of irresponsibly declared India as a dead economy, there's going to be a lot of reality check, believe me, here at the NDTV World Summit, whether it is from ministers, change makers, industry leaders, the Prime Minister of India himself, leaders from our neighbors, well-wisher nations like the United Kingdom and Australia. This is where it is at. This is the epicenter of the world. Now, it may seem in some ways nationalistic to say that everything is centered around India, but it literally is. Look at global headlines over the last 6 to 7 months. It's an affirmation, a validation that India is where it's at, globally speaking. And it doesn't need someone like me to actually say it, but it does need someone like me to remind everyone that the NDTV World Summit is where we distill and capture the fact that India is the epicenter of it all right now.
Right. In fact, speaking of the fact that you're at Bharat Mandapam currently, the same venue that hosted the G20, does it feel like a continuation of that moment?
It really does. I want to show you just a little bit more about the venue, because we're doing our final sound checks and video checks right now. Again, I don't want to show everyone too much because we've got an incredible lineup and preparations that are going on. But this is one of the largest halls in the Bharat Mandapam complex. It's called the multi-purpose hall, and this is where it's all going to happen. But again, the NDTV World Summit is not going to be confined to just this one incredible hall that the NDTV technical team has put together. There are many other halls, many other rooms. There are avenues to walk through, experience, be surprised by, be delighted by, and it is an incredible continuation. I'm glad you asked that question of what happened, at the G20. The Bharat Mandapam is what used to be called Pragati Maidan, which in most people's view and most people's mind is a very sort of sarkari establishment where nobody really went unless they really needed to, and sort of government-sponsored exhibitions used to happen there. Bharat Mandapam now needs to be seen to be believed. It is an incredible world-class establishment befitting of the NDTV World Summit, and we are so proud to be hosting the NDTV World Summit here. The G20, a couple of days ago, there were other international events happening here. There's a buzz around this place. The geography of this place, right in the heart of central Delhi, the Supreme Court just a few meters away from here, centers of government a couple of kilometers from where we're standing, India Gate just a stone's throw from here, makes Bharat Mandapam an incredible venue and totally befitting of India's national capital as well. So I can't wait for our viewers, for our attendees, for our guests and delegates to experience the NDTV World Summit, but also experience it at one of the most befitting venues we could think of.
Indeed. You know, Shiv, this is something we often talk about in the newsroom as well. We keep addressing India's rise. But how does hosting a summit like this one differ from participating in one? Are we now setting the agenda for global thought?
I'm so sorry, I couldn't hear that. The music is really loud now, Parmeshwar, because the sound checks are taking place. So I haven't been able to hear your question. But I will say, if I got your question right, that hosting an event of this kind, where there is so much in motion already, where you can hear the sound checks and the audio checks and the video checks taking place because they're super important. We're getting closer, to T-0 when things actually kick off here at the Bharat Mandapam. So I'm going to let it go for the moment. I'm going to hand it back to you, Parmeshwar, because now we're going to be cleared out of here for those final checks. Remember, today's an important day. It ends with Prime Minister Narendra Modi here at the Bharat Mandapam. So I'm going to hand it back to you. We'll keep bringing you live updates.